When my family plays board games with us around Christmas, my younger brother is an absolute treat to have with us. It is just the best time. It's totally not incredibly annoying. Um, if at any point it doesn't look like he is winning, he's very upset. And only a couple of years ago, he stopped having full-on crying fits when he wasn't actively being the winner or being heavily encouraged. Um, it got to the point that last Christmas Eve, we do like this whole Christmas Eve thing where we get a new board game and we get like pajamas, matching pajamas, we all wear them, we have hot chocolate, we have music and stuff like that. And she got us a Monopoly game that was like some variant, and it was called Monopoly for Sore Losers. And ironically, that's what spurred this video, because it was the solution, if you will. And I'll talk about that in a sec. So we're going to use my youngest brother as an example here. I have two brothers. They're both younger than me. We all live together. And he is the most athletic out of the three of us in terms of just his physicality, how long he's been doing sports and stuff like that. He is constantly receiving praise from everyone, from how fast he is and willingness to get into the thick of it. He's done, I think he's doing football right now, and then he's also done maybe cricket. I'm getting them mixed up maybe, but the point is he's done sport and he's good at it. He is 5 years younger than me and is already getting close to beating me in races. I will say part of that is due to my unathleticism. No, it's not. No, I'm athletic. I'm fit. Point is, he's really, really athletic. He's got like a six-pack at 12. He's insane. And suddenly, you sit him down, and he's at a board game, and our dad, a smart guy, is absolutely just killing the game. Tyler doesn't understand why, and he cries. That's why. He is unsure why his usual approach to problems and games isn't working. So you probably thought, yeah, that's fairly obvious. Kids want to win, but this also applies to the games that we all play throughout our lives. Video games, board games, tabletop games, just everything. So I am a huge fan of Souls-like games. I haven't played one in a while since I sold my PS4 a while back because I wasn't using it enough. And Bloodborne was my introduction to the genre. And God, what a good game. It is, I don't know if I'd say favorite, but definitely top 3 games. I loved it. It taught you to get your hands into the fight and be aggressive as possible. And then I played Dark Souls 3 after I completed Bloodborne, and I was pissed. I was not being rewarded for the same behavior that I previously was. I wasn't blocking using my shield, relying on entirely on being very close to the fight and not being able to keep up momentum. That is because Dark Souls and Bloodborne, while fundamentally similar in their game design philosophies, are very different in the way that their combat works and what they reward the players for. Bloodborne, it rewards you for staying around after getting hit. And Dark Souls wants you to run after being hit or reevaluate your situation and try it from a different angle. It took me a while to learn that. Each game has a different way of approaching it, so if my youngest brother had came into a Monopoly thinking, I'll be conservative so I can buy big in the late game while everyone else is spending all their money at the start, he would have done much better the last time we played. But no, he's him, so he spent big, quick, and suffered for it when Dad had saved up and just absolutely crushed everything in the last few turns of the game. If you find a game frustrating, it is easy to blame poor game design. And granted, there are definitely cases of poor game design that get in the way. Elden Ring is somewhat guilty of that in terms of its insanely high damage numbers and difficulty that I've seen a lot of people talk about. Video Game Donkey did a brilliant video about that. I love Donkey. What was I on about? I don't know. I've lost it. I've lost the plot, guys. The case is usually that it isn't that the game design is bad, because usually it's a pretty straightforward process and most games know what they want to reward you for. What you're used to is going to be different through each game, and you're going to take each of those experiences into the next one. So I've played Bloodborne, I've played Dark Souls. I haven't played Sekiro yet. I imagine if I played it, I'd be like, this is fucking weird, because it's an entirely different game from Dark Souls and Bloodborne. this whole thing, this whole discussion is something that we can learn about designing games with. What is our desired approach to creating a game? And how do we broadcast that to the players when they're playing it? And how do we want to let them know, this is how you play, this is the optimal way, this is what we want you to do so that you can have fun? Bloodborne tells its players fairly well that to win, you have to like be in the fight as much as possible, up on the guy's butt. It does this by rewarding that behavior in gameplay, healing you based on the damage you deal after getting hit. So you take a massive hit from an enemy. In Dark Souls, you're probably going to want to roll away, heal up, and then go back in. In Bloodborne, the more optimal thing is likely, oh, I've just been hit, but now the enemy isn't going to attack for a few seconds, so I'm just going to attack right back. And it becomes a constant dance of being right in the fray. Whereas Dark Souls, you need that time to get out, heal, and get back in, because otherwise taking those sorts of shots isn't going to be as maintainable. The Witcher, specifically The Witcher 3, since that's the only one I've played, tells you that larger battles require a lot of prep by giving you information on enemies and recipes of items that can be crafted to help fight them. It also punishes a lack of prep or contingencies. So the first main plot line is that there's, I can't remember if it's like a griffin or a manticore, or it's just something like that appears and is terrorizing an entire area. And the game isn't like, okay, you've got to find the manticore and kill it. It's like, okay, this thing exists. Here's a buttload of people that can help you get materials to kill this thing. And then also on that little adventure, you get tiny little sprinklings of world building and stuff like that as it builds towards you are now fully ready to fight this thing with all of the materials and equipment. And it also teaches you game mechanics as you go. It teaches you how to use bows since it's up in the air. It teaches you how to apply all of these items that you've gathered. And I think that if my youngest brother had known before getting it too deep into Monopoly that it does have a lot more strategy to it, he probably wouldn't lost as hard as he did. Although he got stroppy, I imagine if he took like a different angle and realized how Dad was playing, he'd understand and incorporate it into his approach. And even if then he lost, he could look at everyone else and realize they were doing the same thing as me. This is fair. Because when he came into it, he was probably thinking, oh, everyone's just playing and spending their money the moment they get it. Not everyone's playing the same way. And I think that if you're playing in a game where everyone's playing the same way, it can be a lot easier to understand when there's a winner and congratulate them. So like bingo, you can't be mad that someone else won because, you know, it's entirely down to chance, etc., unless they cheated, in which case. In any case, if you found this at all helpful for game design, I guess, let me know in the comments. This is just a random thought process on how to maybe make games more fun, you know what I mean? And join my Discord, it's in the description, do all the stuff, but mostly I want to start a discussion going, so they're the important things. You can subscribe as well, I guess, I don't know. Alright, bye, I'm going.